Is it time to reimagine your future? The right business skills may make a difference in your career. At Capella University, we offer a relevant education that's designed to focus on what you need to know in the business world. We'll teach professional skills to help you pursue your goals, like business management, strategic planning, and effective communication. And you can apply these skills right away. A different future is closer than you think with Capella University. Learn more at capella.edu.
Chronic migraine is 15 or more headache days a month, each lasting 4 hours or more.
Botox, onabotulinum toxin A, prevents headaches in adults with chronic migraine. It's not for adults with migraine with 14 or fewer headache days a month. It prevents, on average, 8 to 9 headache days a month versus 6 to 7 for placebo.
Prescription Botox is injected by your doctor. Effects of Botox may spread hours to weeks after injection, causing serious symptoms. Alert your doctor right away, as difficulty swallowing, speaking, breathing, eye problems, or muscle weakness can be signs of a life-threatening condition. Patients with these conditions before injection are at highest risk. Side effects may include allergic reactions, neck and injection site pain, fatigue, and headache. Allergic reactions can include rash, welts, asthma symptoms, and dizziness. Don't receive Botox if there's a skin infection. Tell your doctor your medical history, muscle or nerve conditions, including ALS, Lou Gehrig's disease, myasthenia gravis or Lambert-Eaton syndrome, and medications, including botulinum toxins, as these may increase the risk of serious side effects.
Ask your doctor and visit BotoxChronicMigraine.com or call 1-800-44-BOTOX to learn more.
Welcome, everybody, to this week's podcast episode for the Financial Freedom Podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Christopher Liu. And as we talk about 4 different types of freedom: time, financial, location, health freedom. And in that light, I'm always interviewing entrepreneurs, people doing things on the cutting edge and changing and impacting the world, recording those and sharing those with the world. So today we have Joe Rickards, and he's going to talk to us all about emotional and health freedom. He's a driven entrepreneur. He's a 2-time best-selling author. Looks like he's been featured on Fox, the major mainstream media news outlets, and you'll hear about his interesting story. And so it's going to be a fantastic discussion. So, Joe, welcome.
Thanks, Chris. Thanks. A pleasure to be here. Thanks for having me on.
Yeah, I know it's a Monday morning, and but I'm glad we were able to get you on and tell us, your story, how you got started, and what you do now.
I was going to say, when you're a serial entrepreneur, every day is Monday. But that's why I love what Napoleon Hill said. It's talking about the 4 quadrants, as you put it, of freedom. Time or emotional together. Napoleon Hill said, you never work a day in your life if you love your job. And that's why I'm happy to work Monday, Sunday, Saturday. So, yeah, thanks for that intro. Yeah, looking at what your podcast covers, freedom. I mean, isn't what we all really want in life? Freedom and happiness. Yeah, is the goal of life. And really, there are 4 types of freedoms, as you put it: time, financial, emotional, and location. I never thought of it that way, especially the location thing. And so I would like to address kind of point by point those 4 freedom types to adopt my signature talk. A little bit of background about me. I went from rags to riches, back to rags, back to riches. It's like cycles of life for me. I was growing up on a small farm town in Grandview, Manitoba, Canada. And so I have those traditional roots coming from farming. And then I somehow climbed the corporate ladder in engineering. And then I figured out, what? I don't like this. In fact, I hated my job. So I left my job at $160,000 a year with a $100,000 expense account. I just quit because I realized life is too short. And then I managed to succeed very well through real estate investing. I made it to $10 million in real estate assets personally, and managed all of that. And the tenants, toilets, and trash thing just drove me bonkers. I just said, okay, passive income. They told me real estate is passive, but get me out. And then life threw me the first real big curveball. And I was basically defrauded in a big way, and I lost it all. It set up a domino effect, and I lost everything. We lived on a golf course in the Gallagher's in Kelowna, BC, Canada. I had houses on the sea, on the lake, the sports car, the speedboat, the jet skis, the skidoo, all the toys, and lived the life of Riley, as people call it. But at the same time, I realized I wasn't happy. We didn't have children. I was married. We didn't have children. But anyway, life just took it all away. By the sheer chance of life, I lost everything. The wife was the first to go. then bankruptcy at the same time, really, in all fairness. And then homelessness. And that was at the age of 50. So at the age of 50, I was looking like, okay, I got to start all over again. That song by Garth Brooks, Unanswered Prayers, it turns out that's the story of my life, unanswered prayers, because you pray for one thing in life, but God knows better. At the end of the day, He knows what's best for us. And I was not happy, although I had a lot of assets and I had a great lifestyle, but I was unhappy. And my heart's desire has always been being a dad, being a family man. And it had evaded me till the age of 50. And so basically, bankrupt, broke, homeless, divorced, I decided I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go for what I really want in life, because I've had the money thing and the lifestyle and all that, but it didn't bring me happiness. So I set my sights on finding my soulmate, step one, and then being a dad. And I'm happy to say at 57 that I've never been happier in my life. I have 2 darling daughters, age 5 and 10, and we have another one on the way at 57. So I'm an older dad, but hey, what? I learned that regret is the hardest thing to deal with in this life at the end of the day, regret. That's what guys and girls, everyone on their deathbed, that's what they speak about, what they shoulda, coulda, woulda done. And I just decided I don't want that. So I guess if I have any message to surgeons, physicians, you guys that are, and I take my hat off to all of you because it's a job it's not in me, but you guys you serve people, and you do an amazing job, amazing commitment, and you improve life around the world, right? So you guys are amazing. What I've learned is that, just make sure you're doing it with passion, that you love what you do. And that's the main life lesson for me, because I don't have, at this point in life, I don't have the financial wealth that I had back then, but it's okay. I'm very happy. I'm aesthetically happy with what we do. Yeah. That's a long rant.
Yeah. Interesting. No, I can tell you're passionate about life and you have a lot of zest for life and your energy. Which is really interesting is I like how you focus on your soulmate and your family, and so was there a proven path for you to create the family and to manifest your soulmate? Tell us more.
There is a proven path. This is a great question, proven path, because really, I think the wisest people, they look for the proven path, because there's a path to success and there's many paths to failure. And I think wise and intelligent people look to emulate that path to success. And there absolutely is. And I stumbled into it just because my best friend, who was also an engineer from London, Ontario, he married a Russian lady. I think he was about 34, 35. She was 19 when he met her in Moscow. But anyway, they have 5 children today. They've been married about 20 years, maybe 18 years now. And his wife said to me, because his wife and my ex are best friends. And she said to me, Joe, you and Olga are divorced now, and really, you need to get back on the horse. And guess what? My sister is getting married in Sumy, Ukraine, and she's invited you to the wedding. And I said, Ukraine, where's that? Let me look at the maps. I had no dream to go to Ukraine, but I basically had nothing better to do because, like I said, I was bankrupt, homeless. I was living in my brother's place on the side of a mountain in British Columbia. Just really contemplating the meaning of life, contemplating and going through the 5 stages of grief and of loss, because everybody has to go through that. And I was going through that. But long story short, I went to the wedding. I did meet a young lady there that I tried to court, but that wasn't in the cards for me. But in the process, I really fell in love with the country of Ukraine. I fell in love with the people. And I fell in love with how simplistic life is to them, how they treasure the simple things. Like I just found that in the West, I really got caught up in one-upping the Joneses, and I had the car, the house, on the golf course, on the sea, on the lake, just everything about materialism. And I lived in Ukraine for 6 years until Putin just recently kicked us out of our estate on the Black Sea. But yeah, I fell in love with the the essence of traditionalism that Ukraine still lives about 50 to 75 years back in time. It really is true. Where on the weekends, you don't have to go to the yacht club and spend thousands. Instead, they spend about $20. They go for a shishlik, which is a barbecue basically. And you have a barbecue on the riverside or in front of a lake, and you invite your friends and family, and you have chicken, vodka, of course, you can't be without vodka, and some beer, and everybody has a good time. So that's where I rebuilt, is basically, I rebuilt myself emotionally because I was very emotionally just empty. I was married to, a great woman. I never say anything bad about her. We were best friends. But it just wasn't in the cards. We couldn't have kids, and it just fell apart. Life happens, right? But I met a lady. I dated in Ukraine. I should say I dated in Ukraine for some time. And I will say this about path to success. I wasn't so popular with the ladies in dating in Canada. I'm a Christian fellow, so I looked to date, and I wasn't a guy that attracted a lot of ladies for dates. So you couldn't say I was a stud or anything like that. No, it was the opposite of things. I got back on, okay, I'm back in the dating world. But in Ukraine, dating, if I can compare it, it's like shooting fish in a barrel, like fishing by shooting fish in a barrel or fishing with dynamite kind of thing. It is totally different. It's so easy. There's so many single, beautiful ladies that are looking for a good man, that are looking for marriage, looking for family. That's the important thing in Ukraine. So I experienced that. And while I was healing, I did a lot of dating. And it's just, how did I date? I said hi on the street. It's like, it began with hi. And guess what? I met my current wife by saying hi in front of Ocean Plaza Mall in the capital, Kyiv. And yeah, we dated, fell in love, got married on the sea, bought a house close to where we get married on the sea, and lived for 6 years. And so I realized from my journey that there's a lot of Western men that are also just tired of what has become of the dating culture, the hookup dating culture in the West, Canada, US primarily. And so we started what is now the world's highest reputation, highest marriage success rate marriage agency in the world, called Match Guarantee, spelled with Y.com.
Fascinating. Yeah, this is quite interesting because just in terms of your experiences, and then you went through it, and then you manifested, and then now you started a company. It sounds like something very positive. What is this? There's this idea of this increasing number of Western men choosing to remain single, and what are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, there's like groups like MGTOW, men that go their own way, which is I understand in the millions now. I just think they're so frustrated. There's these terms called toxic masculinity now in the West. What is that? No, men that beat women, that's not masculine. It's toxic, period. Like this whole term, it just seems like men are tired of what's become of the institution of marriage and the risks of marriage. Because I do male coaching, right, with my clients, right? We're the only one in the world that also has a lifetime match guarantee. That's why we're called Match Guarantee. So when you work with us, you're with us till life, till you get married. So unlimited dating, unlimited coaching, full team support until you get married. So I do a lot of coaching. So I hear the same common denominator of complaints of men. It's like a broken record. And men, as a group of Western men, we're tired of the risks associated with marriage. Well, I should say divorce, which reminds me of a joke. What's the number one risk of divorce?
I have no idea what it is.
Marriage. But it's really sad. Men are afraid of divorce rate, which is an interesting twist because in Ukraine, there's divorce rate, but it's the shoe is on the other foot. Yeah, the women get to shaft. Interesting, So just as a sidebar. But yeah, I think men have given up. They're tired of the risks of having to lose it all if it ends in divorce. And I think just there's many things men in the West are tired of. And the thing is, in Ukraine, all the things that we want, which is usually for most men starts with a traditional woman, which is traditional roles marriage. That's alive and well in Ukraine. I won't say they're as traditional as they were, 20 years or 30 years. No, it's changing. The West, the infection, it's infecting Ukraine too, but still it's predominant. Traditional marriages with traditional laws are predominant. And that's what men want. They want a feminine woman that wants to take care of the house, take care of the kids, take care of him. And that's what is Ukrainian woman. My wife spoils me something terrible, and I love it.
Yeah, interesting. And what is I guess this is interesting, is what is the effect that Western feminism has done to men in the West?
I think it's done, to answer your last question, it's alienated men to the institution of marriage. Now, we have this human need, all of us, called sex, right? We all want it, men and women. So it's become a hookup culture just to satisfy that need. So it's being satisfied outside of marriage. It's hookup and Tinder. By the way, did you know I went to the iDate conference 2018 in Kiev, and one of the top CEOs in the world of a dating company, a Russian company, what's it called again? He said 40%, he said on the stage, 40% of Tinder's women now in America are bots.
Interesting.
That's what women become.
Yeah, interesting. Wow. Really fascinating discussion, because we're talking about different cultural shifts. And I know you have several resources. How can people follow you on social media, check out your website, and contact you?
Yeah, thanks. If you're interested in understanding what Ukrainian women are, and are they any different than Western women, that's the first step. And that's the step I went through when I went to Ukraine. And what I did is I interviewed 17 ladies and I put it on YouTube, Ukrainian ladies. So that's how my quest began. And I've done something really cool 3 months ago. I said, wouldn't it be cool if guys could find the answer to this question? Are Ukrainian women any different than Western women? And if so, how are they different? Wouldn't it be cool if it was a free resource? So I started a YouTube channel that's completely free. It's called ukrainedating.tv. And we have beautiful ladies streaming every day, 365 days a year there. And you can even cam share with them, so you can see them on camera, ask them any questions. And these are just average Ukrainian women. I get accused of having picked the best of the best, but really they're just average ladies, and they get paid $10 an hour to stream. It's a job for them, but they're so honest, and you can really watch and talk to those ladies and understand what makes them tick. And you be the judge if they're the same as Western women. So that's what I would encourage you to do, is just go to ukrainedating.tv and just see if maybe they're what you're interested in.
Interesting. Yeah. So for all the audience out there, be sure to check out Joe's resources and the links in show notes. Thanks so much for coming on to the show, and it's been a pleasure having you.
Thank you very much. And listen, just as a sidebar, maybe you'd like to have another podcast. I've gotten back into real estate investing just because the perfect storm it was off the coast, but now it's hit. It's the best time to invest in real estate in 14 years. I was blessed to get a piece of it in 2008 in tax deed investing, and I just can't help myself. It's just so much money on the table now. So if you want to have me back on it, happy to share with you what I'm doing now.
Fantastic.
Thanks.